Hello everyone, welcome to my channel B&B CBS Gossip 24. November 4th's episode of The Bold and the Beautiful. Beth's Anti-Sheila announcement and Electra's refusal to forgive Remy. Tuesday, November 4th. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful indicate that Electra Forrester will not forgive Remy Price, and Beth Spencer will make an announcement that is critical of Sheila Sharp. During Deke Sharp's welcome party, Remy was confronted and reprimanded, which left her an emotional mess at Forrester Creations. Remy apologizes and begs for another opportunity, but Electra will make it plain that she will not forgive him for all of his actions. The plan didn't work out, but Remy was hopeful he could win Electra back to his cause and persuade the others to follow. Remy will therefore need to focus on Deke and quietly implore him to keep their relationship going. Since Deke never anticipated any of these terrible Remy disclosures, it is clear that he is feeling overpowered. Given that Remy remained silent for such a long time, Deke will find it difficult to forgive him for his conduct. Beth will speak with Hope Logan and Liam Spencer once more regarding their impending marriage in the interim. It turns out that in Tuesday's B&B show, Beth will unveil her major idea about Liam and Hope's wedding ceremony. As long as it's feasible and reasonable, Hope and Liam will undoubtedly give their consent. Beth will, however, make another statement on the guest list at some point. Beth will surprise Liam and Hope when she tells them that she won't want Sheila at the wedding. Beth will adopt a strong anti-Sheila position on Tuesday's show because she doesn't want Deacon Sharp's wife to spoil Hope and Liam's big day. Will Beth's plea to have Sheila removed from the guest list be granted by Liam and Hope? Hope might agree and choose to inform Deacon about Sheila's ban shortly after, as she was already hoping she wouldn't be present. Liam Spencer hasn't changed at all according to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Liam Spencer appears to be the same person on the inside even though he may appear to be a different person on the surface. This is so because Liam is a character who thrives on approval and the excitement of the pursuit. He will pursue Steffi Forrester if he isn't pursuing someone like Hope, and vice versa. Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. Liam Spencer is exactly the same. In a nutshell, Liam has been playing the same game for years. Many people would like to believe that his health crisis and the drama that surrounded it have changed him, but that doesn't seem to be the case at all. Liam would wait before committing to Hope again if he really did change, wouldn't he? Naturally, B&B fans expressed their opinions on social media. Some even said, "I agree that putting these two back together was a boring move, but I wasn't feeling the Hope and Carter relationship." Spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful. What will happen to Liam and Hope next? The selections were made to encourage us to get together again. They may have added more romance, sex, or significance. However, the writing style was just blah. Probably because the show had a 39-week stretch of record lows for the key demo ratings starting when Thope began and ending when they broke up, noted another soap review. There was also the following comment: Hope hasn't been Hope for a long time. With greater experience and understanding, she is returning to herself. Liam is doing the same. Tension hums in the air like static, and reporters have been phoning non-stop since Hope's pregnancy leak. Steffi rummages through a pile of newspaper clippings. She murmurs, "They're calling us a circus." And that was prior to the most recent controversy. Jaw clenched, Ridge paces beside the window. "This is covered in Sheila's fingerprints. We are unable to locate her because of every distraction." The lift chime interrupts the silence before Steffi can reply. With her phone held to her ear, Brooke Logan exits the building, followed by Beth, who is apprehensive, bright-eyed and holding a folder. "Beth, everyone needs to stop bringing up Sheila, Grandpa Ridge and Grandma Brooke. I've already taken action." Everyone looks at her. "Ridge, my dear, what do you mean?" "I made a video," said Beth. The television flickers on in the workplace. With a school project logo in the corner and a Forrester backdrop in the background, Beth's face covers the screen. "Sheila Carter hoed people I love," says Beth, on screen. "I can be honest, but I can't undo what she did. Some people believe that being afraid entails remaining silent. I believe it entails getting up." The room echoes with gasps. Beth is seen holding up a sign in the clip. "Sheila, no more." It buzzes on Hope's phone. Thousands of likes, shares, and comments cause notifications to go viral. The youngest anti-Sheila activist in history has just entered the planet. "Hope, oh my God. Did she make this public?" "She is a Logan," said Brooke. "She did, of course. In another part of the building, Electra Forrester watches Beth's video for the 10th time while glued to her tablet. Her pride mixed with rage makes her expression inscrutable. There's Remy in the doorway. Electra, we must speak. She doesn't raise her head. Do we? With a careful voice, he enters. Ridge is aware of the compromised documents. You were the contact, and he is aware of it. Although her hands shake a little, her voice is icy. Then there's nothing left to say, said Electra. You think I wanted this, said Remy. Everyone is being used by Sheila. You. Me. Every one of us. Don't you dare put me in the same sentence as you, said Electra. At last, she turns to face him, tears hiding behind her rage. Electra, you were aware of her abilities. And you continued to allow her entry. Remy winces. I was born into her mess, so I didn't let her in. Then perhaps you ought to have avoided ours, said Electra. She slams the door and rushes past him. Like a definitive decision, the sound reverberates across the hallway. Scene 4, the Ryder's office. The family gets together once more. On a newscast, Hope, Brooke, Steffi, and Ridge watch Beth's video replay. The voice of the reporter narrates. Young Beth Logan's Anti-Sheila speech has taken an unexpected turn, going viral and gaining over 10 million views in less than an hour. According to people close to Forrester Creations, the family is both worried and proud. Brooke lets out a sigh. Parenting in a headline, proud and worried. Ridge doesn't take his eyes off the television. Sheila will not approve of this. Hope's heart sinks. Do you believe she will strike back? Grimly, Ridge looks up. She is already taking revenge. She is simply awaiting the ideal opportunity. A gloomy workplace with a sparkling skyline outside the window. Will Spencer pauses on Beth's video while browsing social media. His own face flickers conflictingly in the screen reflection. The speakerphone on his desk trembles with Sheila's voice. The Logans love their grand gestures, don't they? Sheila said. How adorable. However, the descent is made more difficult by each flag they raise. Will, you stated that we wouldn't harm children. We won't, Sheila said. We will simply allow their parents to ruin themselves in an attempt to keep them safe. After hesitating, Will hangs up. With the exception of Beth's voice echoing faintly from the phone he is still holding, the room falls silent. Even kids know right from wrong, says Beth, on camera. Will shuts his eyes. Doubt creeps in for the first time. Tired, Steffi sits with Finn. She shakes her head as she rewatches Beth's video on her tablet. She is more courageous than half of the adults in this family, Steffi said. Finn, she has also made herself a target. Steffi, then we keep her safe. And we put a definitive end to this. With resolve in her eyes, she puts down the tablet. Thunder roars across the Pacific outside. Sheila watches the same clip on a broken tablet screen in the distance, grinning a little. Little Beth believes she's exposing me, Sheila said. But all she did was point out my next target. As Ridge gazed at the news that scrolled across his phone, rain poured down the glass walls of the Forrester living room. Beth Logan, a Forrester heiress, goes viral with her Anti-Sheila plea. Every headline served as a reminder that Sheila Carter's name was now visible on all screens and in all languages. Steffi's hands were shaking as she poured coffee across the room. Are you aware that she is watching this? Every post, every phrase. With gloomy eyes, Ridge raised his head. Sheila is an attention seeker. She grows closer the more we argue with her in public. Steffi remarked, then perhaps we stop reacting and start acting. We must strike first because she has already harmed Electra, Hope, and Remy. A chime from the front gate intercom reverberated around the home before Ridge could respond. Delivery. As the housekeeper brought in a thin, white parcel with rain stains and no return address, Brooke came in. Brooke, an additional press present. Ridge, no. It's meant for Beth. The handwriting was looping and delicate, too sophisticated to be a child's, too planned to be haphazard. Hope watched Beth create a poster for her No More Sheila campaign while she sat on the couch. Glitter spilt, markers flew, and their innocence shone through the mayhem all around them. Beth, did I exacerbate the situation, Mom? Hope gave a slight grin, but there was fatigue in her eyes. You got people to pay attention. That is always correct. They were interrupted by a knock. The delivery man handed Hope the white package Rich had mentioned when she opened the door. Written in black ink is Beth's name. Hope scowled. No sender. He gave a headshake. Just mentioned that it was urgent. Hope's skin pricked with uneasiness as she gazed at the package after he left. Why don't you complete that drawing inside, Beth, my love? Mommy is going to do some checking. Beth paused, feeling the strain. Is Aunt Steffi the source? Hope forced a smile. Perhaps. Hope lifted the lid of Beth's room and froze when she vanished. There was a flash drive and a single red rose inside, wrapped in white tissue paper. With his phone clamped to his ear, Will Spencer paced his office. This wasn't part of the plan, Will said. Oh, Will, you ought to be aware by now, plans change, Sheila said. Will, you mentioned no children. And I'm not touching a hair on her head, Sheila said. But Tara? Fear is a great teacher. Breathing heavily, he slapped the phone down. The storm clouds became thicker outside once more. Will became aware that he wasn't an ally for the first time. He was a pawn. In the conference room, Steffi and Rich stood behind Carter and Deacon. Every nerve was exposed, every face depicted. Steffi, we put the entire company on lockdown, increase security, and bring in our PR team. Sheila is already ahead of you, said the Deacon. His phone slid across the table. On the screen, a text message glowed. She has everything she requires. It begins with the child. Pale, Brooke stepped in. Beth is her target. Rich tightened his jaw. After that, she stops running. The rain drummed on the windows. With her heart racing, Hope plugged the flash drive into her laptop. There was only one video file visible. Play ME. The screen turned dark. Then came Sheila's quiet, uncanny voice. Sheila Hope, you're raising a courageous young girl. She makes me think of the time I was a believer in good and evil. However, warn her to exercise caution because sometimes the people who curse monsters the loudest are the ones who sleep next to them. Hope quickly put her palm to her mouth. The film ended with a still shot of the Forresters family taken at the charity banquet the previous year. Remy was circled in red. The past isn't finished, Sheila said. It is returning home. The screen turned black. Steffi, Brooke, Hope, and Deacon were all gathered around the fireplace by Rich. Like a loaded weapon, the flash drive was positioned in the middle of the table. Rich, she claims to be inside the walls already. Then we raise the walls, Steffi said. Deacon, no. We smoke her out. He turned to face Rich. She desires a response. Give her one she won't anticipate. Holding Beth close, Hope sat in silence. Half sleeping, the toddler said, Did I do something wrong, Mommy? Hope wiped away her tears. No, sweetheart. You showed courage by doing something. For a brief moment, a person stood beyond the garden gate, staring through the rain with an umbrella tilted, as lightning split the sky beyond. Game on, Sheila said with a slight smile and a murmur to the breeze. Rich used a tablet to display a security feed from the Forrester warehouse district as he stood in front of the family. I'm setting up the meeting there with Deacon. If she believes she is making the decisions, she will come. Steffi crossed her arms. You're luring Sheila Carter in the middle of a storm? That's insanity, Dad, not strategy. It's the only way she shows herself, said Rich. Brooke, what if she doesn't arrive by herself? Then we end this, for good, said Rich. The room turned white as a lightning bolt flashed. Hope briefly believed she had seen a shadow move outside the window. Her heart pounded as her palm closed tighter around Beth's. Hope, you mentioned that we were beyond our fear. So stop it. Sheets of rain fell. The delivery warehouse in Forrester was half-lit, its metal siding trembling in the wind. With his collar up and his earpiece buzzing faintly, Deacon waited next to a pile of shipping boxes. Security is in place. Are you sure she'll purchase it? The communication crackled with Rich's voice. She will arrive. She can't help but be in charge. Deacon laughed without humor. You survive Sheila, you don't control her. A car's headlights briefly illuminated the rain before going out. The loading bay reverberated with the sound of stilettos hitting damp pavement. Sheila Carter appeared with a knife-smooth smile and an umbrella tilt. Well, a thunderstorm and 2 former prisoners. Heaven must be where I am. Rich stepped out of the darkness. Sheila, You chose the wrong family to haunt. She chuckled quietly. Oh, Ridge, I added interest to this family. You would only be scandal sheets and stitches without me. The three were lighted by lightning as rain dropped from the rafters. Ridge, Remy was utilized by you. You went after Beth. Tonight, that comes to an end. Sheila, are you worried? I taught. The girl had to realize that monsters live and heroes lie. Deacon, you're hurting. Sheila, I've changed. Ridge took a step forward. You want to be noticed? On camera, confess. Tell the world that you scared a youngster, framed Electra, and leaked the tests. Sheila's eyes strayed from his to the tiny recording device on a container that was blinking. She grinned. Oh, you dear idiots. Did you truly believe you could catch me in a trap? She dug into the pocket of her coat. She held up a tiny remote, and Ridge stiffened, then froze. Security systems are reciprocal, Sheila said. I've spent months living in your mansion. Beth made that cute short video? I was the first to see it. Ridge's heart froze. What did you do? She hit the remote control. The Forrester mansion security siren was blaring out in the distance. Red lights flashed over the displays, and Steffi whirled. Eastern side motion sensors. Brooke took hold of Beth and drew her in. It's the garden. There's someone out there. With the camera aimed at the windows, a cloaked person raced between hedges on the security stream. She's not here for Ridge, Steffi said. For the child, she is here. Ridge grabbed the controller and sprang forward. Get rid of them. Sheila grinned. It's too late. Ridge, you laid the trap. I simply switched the prey. With rage trembling his voice, Deacon grasped her wrist. If she comes in contact with that young girl. Sheila hissed, calm down. No one is being harmed by me. I'm merely demonstrating to the Forresters what happens when they lose control. Ridge pushed her in the direction of the wall. You're finished. Sheila grinned once again. You say that all the time. A black SUV screeched to a stop as headlights flooded the loading bay before he could respond. The rear door opened. Will Spencer emerged, soaked, his eyes blazing with remorse. Sheila, stop this. Her head was cocked. Will, it's too late to change your mind. You wanted leverage, Will said. Not blood. You said you would. Promises are for people who still believe in mercy, Sheila said. Ridge's bewilderment turned to insight. You collaborated with her? Will took a swallow. No longer. He grabbed a flash disk from inside his coat. Everything is here, even the cash trail and the paternity fakes. Sheila, tell me where Beth is, or I'll turn this over to the FBI. This was the first time Sheila's smile wavered. You wouldn't. Will, give me a try. The intruder's abandoned camera struck the ground as lightning blazed outside. Steffi opened the back door and ran down the hall. And stopped. A little drone with a blinking red light hovered just above the lawn. A repetitive message played on its screen. The storm hasn't passed. The transmission then died as it burst into sparkles. The open doors were torn apart by the wind. Sheila gave Will and then Ridge a fierce look. Do you believe you have me cornered? With a gritty voice, Deacon took a step forward. No, Sheila. You put yourself in a tight spot. No one moved for a long time. The rain streaked Sheila's face like tears as she let out a slow exhale. You can't cage a storm, Sheila said. After turning, she vanished into the downpour. At last, the warnings ceased. Brooke said a prayer as she held Beth in her arms. Hope watched the storm outside from the doorway. A form moved on the horizon, strolling away down the damp road, while lightning flashed. Sheila's voice floated over the thunder, clear but faint. You only believe it's finished.